And just like that, baby, good afternoon, live again on the official Wydoe Podcast, and I've got Trevor Johnson in the building, founder of the Luxury Rally Club. How you doing today,
What's
sir?
up, guys?
It's feeling
doing,
good,
big
dog?
guy?
How you feeling? Tell me about what you do in your business.
Yeah, so Luxury Rally Club, we're the top experiential company in the automotive industry. We put on vintage and supercar rallies for the top car collectors in the world, so we got a pretty exciting job.
I like that. Now, Trevor, this is, I do own this podcast, so you got to watch whatever the fuck you do say. You know what I mean? Got to be careful here on this show. What brings you to Miami? You are one of the reasons that we are here in this beautiful house, brother. Why are we here this weekend?
Yeah, happy to have you guys. So we focus on automotive events, like I just said, but the reason why we're here this week is obviously F1 Miami. We have packages at F1 Miami. We obviously do events. Obviously, you can see we have a pretty cool pad. I mean, it's
very cool, dog. Not a pushover.
No.
Couple of foreigns in the exotic cars parked in the driveway, in the grass, in the backyard.
And so it's a cool space for. So what we like to do is have, you know, if you're a member of Luxury Rally Club or if you're one of our, you know, inner circles, you can come here and hang out. It's a safe space.
Wow.
You know, and then a lot of people are staying at the house as well too.
Right.
And they actually like it because you know, you can keep your car here and it's centrally located to the track, so you know it's a perfect spot.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, it's just a Ben Keegan, who you guys had on earlier. Ben's a great guy. Him and I do a lot of work together. We like to bring brands. And especially like luxury brands or smaller brands, because essentially with Luxury Rally Club we have an ultra high net worth kind of database.
Right.
So lots of brands want to like kind of, you know, be around us and have access to our clients.
And when did the club actually come about? How long have you guys been doing
this? Yeah, it's about 4.5 years old. Started in I think 2018 now, right at the end of 2018. So yeah, four and almost 5, yeah.
And now the members of your club, once you become a member of the Luxury Rally Club, what does that entail? What do you get?
So essentially, our membership, it's pretty easy. You know, you have to have a certain type of car. So like, you know, if we're putting on a rally, for example, the 100 Years of Bentley Rally, you have to have an 80 to 90-year-old Bentley.
Right.
And it can't be a fake one.
Yeah. Is there a lot of fake ones in the industry?
There's some, but, you know, it's a little bit of a gray area, you know what I mean? Because you got, you know, there's replicas and stuff like that, but this type of individual, they don't bring replicas and stuff. It's a big no-no.
Yeah.
There's some replicas and stuff, but most of the events we do are all authentic cars. A lot on the vintage side, but we've done quite a few hypercar, supercar stuff.
And I checked out the Instagram. Everybody go follow Trevor, not only his own page, but the Luxury Rally Car page. I saw a lot of old schools. A lot of older cars.
Yeah, so we have a lot of vintage stuff, and I feel like because there's just more there's a lot of passion, and it's like preserving the history of that. So when they drive it, like I don't know, in my opinion, you're driving a supercar, hypercar. It's cool, but it's like not really like for some demographic, it's really cool.
Yeah.
But when you see a guy start a vintage car, have to take care of it.
Yes.
And he's like, that's his deal, and he's driving that thing. It's just, there's just something like it's a walk back in time. You know what I mean? And so there's just a really cool vibe to that, and I think it's cooler than just going out and buying a brand new Lamborghini, which is great, but you know, it's just not that classy.
And I feel like the classy guys are always so much more knowledgeable. They're sitting by the car, they got all years to tell you about it.
Yeah, they're passionate about it, you know. And so that's kind of what I really liked. And then creating those experiences and giving them these, you know, essentially what we're doing is we're creating a life experience and a memory for them, their families, you know, to drive these cars with like-minded individuals, guys that have, you know, 20, 30 of the same cars.
Right.
That are $1 million to, you know, upwards to sometimes they're over $20 million cars, you know. So it's a wild. You think about that. And
now, Trevor, I'm a basketball player. I played college basketball. Florida, we didn't have too much hockey. You familiar with hockey at all, brother?
Yeah, I am. So I was a professional ice hockey player for 15 years.
Wow.
I played, you know, kind of all over the world, but so I'm Canadian. We start off in Canada. You play major, junior, and it's like the best junior league, I think probably in the world. And then after that, I went right to pro. So like I didn't go to college. So like you don't go to like in Canada. We didn't really know much about like universities in the U.S.
Right.
You know, I'm from a really small town from Trail, BC. So like it's not like there was YouTube. You know, when I was 14, 15 years old, I didn't know. So you know, anyways, long story short, I took the pro route right away. So you know, you're 21 years old, you're playing pro, and your goal in life is to be an NHL hockey player. Well, you know, you do. I had success. I always say to people, I was always good enough to keep playing hockey, but I was never good enough to make like big money, right?
Gotcha.
So, you know, I ended up retiring at like 35 and 37. I was 37.
Wow.
And, you know, so I retired and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? You know? And so I got into, by the way, I'm Italian as well. So I'm Canadian-Italian and I played for the Italian national team.
Goal. Keep it
Yeah,
moving.
right. So I played for the Italian national team, played in Italy. When I retired, I got into the luxury travel business, and I was a brand ambassador for a luxury travel company. And I just found out that, like, man, that's not going to make me a lot of money. I have to start creating my own events to, you know, movement causes, like, you know, reactions and money.
Yep.
And, you know, so when people are moving, it's a good thing. I found that, you know, it's pretty easy to put together people when it's around cars, and they love cars, especially vintage cars. And so, you know, the idea just spun, and I had an opportunity to do the my original Bentley rally, and then it just, you know, kind of blew up from there.
From then?
Yeah.
Went
yeah.
on.
So, yeah, that's kind of the, you know, how I got into it. I mean, it's a really long story, but.
Right. And if you were to go back, Trevor, 5, maybe 7 years ago, and tell yourself where you're at, what you're doing now, would he have believed it back then?
Probably. Probably because, you know, I'm a pretty good networker.
Right.
I'd like to think myself as a master networker.
That's right. Clearly it shows. Hello,
yeah,
we're all
no,
here because of you.
I think you know, I have a good story. You know, I'm from Canada. I was a pro hockey player. I believe if you treat people, you know, with respect in the right way, but playing all over the world, you know, you got to remember as a hockey player, you play with like 15 new guys every single year. So you can imagine those 15 guys are all from different countries.
Yep.
Right? So that alone is just so powerful. Like there's not many countries in the Western Hemisphere
Right.
where I can just be like, hey, you know, make one call and know the kid that lives there for, you know, his whole life. And so that I use that to my advantage to start building my network. And but it's been a long road, you know. It's been a really long road.
And something I want to ask, I've got a lot of friends that are pro basketball players, pro football players. Never met any pro hockey players. This is the first for me, sir. So I want to ask you, Trevor, to you, what is a professional hockey player?
So pro hockey player is, well, obviously there's different leagues in pro hockey, right? The NHL is the top league.
Yep.
You got where are you from, Florida?
Florida, born and raised.
Yeah, so you got Tampa.
We got Tampa
Bay
Bay. They
Lightning,
came on strong
and the
as of late.
Florida Panthers. Yep. So Tampa just lost out, but Florida's doing well. So that's, you know, that's a professional ice hockey player. You're in that's the top of the top. But then there's leagues underneath it. You have the AHL, the East Coast. And I knew right away that I was a little bit smaller and I was a defenseman. So I knew I wanted to go to Europe right away to play in the World Championships. And so, you know, I ended up, my goal was to go there and play in the Olympics.
Wow.
And we missed out by one goal 2 times in a row to go to the Olympics. And it was very heartbreaking. But I got to play in 7 World Championships with, you know, Team Italy. And that was just like so cool.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, there's a lot of lower leagues in pro hockey, but, you know.
Same as basketball. You can
Yeah,
go
you know,
be a pro if you really love
you're a
it.
pro, but, you know, what is a pro, right? Like a pro to me is somebody that's pretty damn good at their job.
Right.
You know? And it doesn't have to be just hockey, but.
And now, if you could have played on the Olympic team, would you have rather played with Canada or Italy?
You know, I've had that question before, and well, one, I was never good enough to play on Canada.
Gotcha.
Or I would have played on Canada.
Right.
But you know, to be honest, I would have rather played on Italy because, one, Canada's already in, like they're already expected, but
yeah, top.
the sacrifice that we had to make to scratch and claw to like get, you know, just to lose by 1 goal, but the victory of that would have been just crazy, right? So I wish it would have been for Italy, but
yeah. And now moving right on, big dog. So we got the F1 Formula Grand Prix going down this weekend. What is the Luxury Rally Club doing there? What are you guys involved?
Yeah, so we don't have any like our own paddock or anything there. We just we have a lot of, because we're in the automotive industry and we're dealing with a lot of the OEMs. A lot of our people and clients and sponsors and partners, they're all going to the event itself. So really, this is what we have going on. We wanted to have this house here. We sell tickets to different paddocks and stuff, but we don't have our own, so we're kind of like a third party per se.
Right.
But we want to make the people's experience nice, And so we're focusing a little bit more on, we're going to be doing Vegas as well.
Wow, that's big time.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And it's going to be a night race too, so that's going to be kind of cool.
Damn.
I wish Miami would be a night race, but
if only. I just can't even believe they brought a track and put it in the middle of the city, right next to the stadium. It's just so amazing to see it. I did not go last year. I watched it all on TV. On the way here, we drove past it, and we're like, man.
Yeah, so everybody thought last year that they did a shitty job, and I heard a lot of complaints. But like I went, man, I was like, they turn it into a party,
right?
And that's what people want now, And so there's so many different events. There's so much shit going on, especially in the city right now. I can't even tell you how much shit is going on. It's crazy.
Right, and a lot of people know NASCAR, and I feel like NASCAR is more of an American thing. This Formula One is global.
But the only for me, I have so many friends that are like, man, I love F1. I'm like, you didn't fucking like F1.
Yeah.
When did you? Why do you like F1?
You know Lewis Hamilton. That's it.
Yeah. And it's like, you never liked F1 before. Why the fuck do you like it now? But I started watching the document, like the Netflix.
The Netflix,
series,
everyone's blown up on.
And it changed everyone because they're, you have more respect for them. You understand what the fuck is going on.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know shit about racing.
Nope.
I'm from a small town in Canada, but I wanted to know like what was going on, And so I think that put everything into perspective for a lot of people.
Yeah.
These guys are fucking animals, man. They're unbelievable.
Seeing the crew, the team,
Dude,
what all goes into it.
it's so much, and so much money goes into it.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't know is around, like, you know how many people come to Miami and don't go to the race?
Right. Don't even go to it. Just want to be around.
Don't even go. Because, like, okay, for me, too, like, why the fuck do I want to get in my car, wait 2 hours in parking, and,
At least.
Then you walk in, and, even if you get dropped off, so it's a lot. If you're a true race fan, yes, go. It's great. You got the paddock ticket, whatever. Then when it's over, it's another whole thing to get out of there. I mean, look, I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm just saying it's an event, right? You
speak in reality.
Yeah. So, but where I was going with that is that there's so much fun shit to do in Miami.
Yes.
Miami's popping off right now. It is
always.
I mean, it's like LA back in the day,
Right.
It's the new LA.
And even Ben said last year when he was there, he only saw about 5 minutes of the whole race.
Yeah, because you're around and you're talking to people, and it's a whole networking thing,
Right.
So that's why we were like, you know what? Let's get a house. Let's, invite people over, and just do some. It's way better.
Way better.
Way better. So
more of a connection, and I appreciate you guys having us here, man. This is awesome. Now, Trevor, I want to ask you, as your title, as your job, can you describe a great day and a bad day? A lot of people might want to be Mr. Trevor Johnson, but what does it really entail?
So, yeah, I mean, a great day is today's a pretty great day, But we, you got to remember, I'm catering to the top, not the top 1%ers, the top 0.000 whatever, right? And that gets stressful for sure. You always got to be on. Events are extremely difficult, and what we do is like a wedding on wheels. So like we're changing venues every day, and like shit's getting so expensive now. And it's weird because a lot of the guys that are that are in this that own vintage cars, a lot of these guys have been out of business for a decade.
Yeah.
Tons of money, but then you're like, well, whatever, it's $2,000 for a hotel, and they're like, what?
Right, counting everything.
And like, prices have gone through the roof. So it's like, it's just a really weird scene. But a bad day, I gotta say, I never really had a bad day because, I love what I do. I love the people. I love the whole, getting people together and creating those memories for people.
Right.
But, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and, it's I'm pretty blessed, so I've had a real good run.
Now, Trevor, as a successful person, I think a lot of people like to ask you guys, what's your routine, yada, yada. Do you have a routine in the morning?
Not really, no. I mean, look, I was a professional hockey player for fucking 20 years, So all I did was routine. And, I hear a lot of people, all this bullshit talk about, got to do this and you got to do that. And it's like, at the end of the day, I know what makes me money. I know that I got to fucking hound somebody for money.
Yep.
And taking a cold plunge or, is it good for your life? Yes, it's good to have routine. Eat fucking healthy. Don't,
Right.
Don't do drugs. Don't drink too much. You know what I mean? Whatever. As an ex-hockey player, there's a time to play, and there's a time to just relax and have fun.
Very
but
true.
When it's fucking go time, you got to go.
It's go time,
and you're on. And it doesn't matter if you're hungover. It doesn't matter if because a lot of this business is have a routine. How am I going to have a routine?
Yeah.
I'm in Miami for 5 days. We're out with clients all night. We're doing here. We're going here with the owner of so and so. I can't tell the owner of so and so. No, dude, I'm going home.
Right.
I don't want to be out with you anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's different. Obviously, people are in different situations, right? But the routine shit's good. Be healthy.
Yeah.
Live your life. The other thing too is like, okay, live your life healthy. Do all the routine shit. How about just be nice to people?
Be fucking nice.
Just be respectful, And my dad, so I'm Canadian, right? So we're very friendly, hospitable people. And my dad always said to me, it's nice to be nice. And that, it resonates with me for sure.
Yeah.
But it's, we kind of live in a shit world some days,
Definitely some days. Depends on
but
where you look.
Keep that circle tight. Keep it tight. Do whatever fucking routine you want. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
I know what I did in hockey. I put my left skate on every fucking time. I put my left side, I tape my shit this way, forever. But
And is there anything that you attribute now in your business, now in your life that you use and from hockey, that you got from hockey?
Yo,
from
for
playing?
sure, man. So I never went to school. I never went to college. ChatGPT saving my life.
Right.
I don't have to write emails. I can use this. That's cool.
Correct.
But with hockey, I've played in so many different places. I live with different families. I was captain of my team, I think 7 years.
Wow.
At a pro, right? So as a captain, you get to know people and really understand what makes people click. And everyone's different, right? But getting to know people as a hockey player, getting to learn and know 30 guys, 20 guys, that helps so much. But you got to remember when you're a hockey player, we were pro, so people are watching you. You have to conduct yourself properly.
Right.
You have to do this, and you have to treat people with respect. So that's a real thing that I've taken. That's the discipline of you have to do that shit. Because you make one mistake when you're a hockey player like that, you're fucked.
Right.
You're screwed, So, yeah, just the discipline of always being presentable, The other thing, too, is I want to look a certain way. I don't have a big beard. I love your beard.
Yeah, I'm trying half off. I got it at Walmart.
I don't have tattoos. I'm just kind of I'm born in 82, right? So, not that it was military-ish, but, in hockey, we weren't allowed to have long hair. You weren't allowed to be the guy that looked stood out. Hockey's not the sport like that.
Right.
You have to be humble, and that's really important. So.
Man, you wouldn't think that as a novice fan. You see him fighting all the time, but
that's okay though. You fighting is a very fucking people say, man, you must love fighting. It's fun, right? I was like, yeah, it's fighting when you're winning.
Right.
But get your ass beat in front of 15,000 people.
Correct.
It's a very humbling experience.
Right.
Right.
You've had to deal with the pressure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've beat people up and I've lost. So
wow.
But it's a very humbling kind of experience, and that's what kind of pisses me off these days, because there's a lot of egos. There's a lot of it's just people need to be a little more humble and just chill a little bit.
Can you speak on, not only as a hockey player, I know for sure, but and now into your business, how important is a team and the team?
Yeah, teams. It's really important. It's really important to be able to rely on people, but also to and I'm learning. Obviously, I have to manage things better, but that's where you don't really learn that in the hockey world, how to manage other people.
Correct.
But you learn it if you went to school, you learn some of those business ethics and stuff like that. But I've had to learn that on my own. But again, be a good person, be transparent, that's really the easiest part. Just be transparent, you know. Have those shitty conversations that you don't want to have, but do it in the right, you know, respectful way.
Now I want to ask you, this is just popped in my head, dog. So, in my opinion, the baseball manager there's a reason he's called a manager. He's not a coach like the other sports. I've never really been involved too much in hockey. What about hockey coaches? If they're that's what they're called, hockey coaches.
Yeah.
How influential are they, and are they important to the team?
Yeah, they are for sure. Obviously, they're so important.
Yeah.
And at different levels for sure. I actually coach.
Really?
Yeah, I coach. So my son is Bantam now. So yeah, I've coached for like 7 years, and it's always been really important for me to like give back to the hockey community.
Yep.
Obviously, this time it's really difficult, but no, it's really great coaching kids, man. It's being a coach is probably one of the
rewarding,
thankless but rewarding, like self-rewarding things, you know. But the coach is super important because the coach, the way he acts, the way he presents himself, is everything. Yeah. And a lot of people say, you know, your team is a direct reflection of the coach. You know, and that's a lot of, you know, that's.
And you can see that across all sports. Now, a question I want to ask you, sir. I don't have any kids, Trevor, but when you had children, did life speed up or did it slow down for you?
Well, I was still playing pro hockey at the time, but I would say it slowed down a little bit because, you know, you can't do as much, obviously. But, you know, now it's great. My kids are 11 and 13. You know, it's like they're growing up. Like, you know, other than giving them some guidance, they're dealing with their own stuff now, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But no, I would say it slows down for sure.
Trevor, another question I always like to ask my guests on my show: if I had $1 million here for you, and you had to make 2 phone calls, one person had to answer, and the other person cannot answer, do you have 2 people in your contact that you would be able to call?
So you got $1 million. One person you call has to answer.
Got to pick up for you, and the other one either has to decline you, ignore you, send you a text, not answer the phone.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Who you got?
Well, I would say my father because he picks up every time. And then it would be the sponsor that I'm trying to get for this event right now. And he knows that he owes me money, but he's gonna hang up for sure. Or he's not gonna answer.
He's just not gonna
Yeah, I know,
up.
and I know it. And I would put $1 million on it.
Trevor, if you're stuck on an island for 1 whole month and can only listen to 3 artists, who would they be?
You can only listen to 3 artists?
That's it. Their whole entire catalog, whole discography, but only 3 artists. Who would they be?
I'd probably have to go with you probably want to do 3 different like genres so you could.
You're on an island. Coconuts, iguanas. That's about it.
Yeah. I'd go a little country, maybe a little George Strait because he's got so many songs. Then I'd probably go maybe a little Nickelback.
Yes, sir. You didn't get the Nickelback hate when they all, for some reason,
no,
started
we're
hating
Canadian,
them?
man. I don't know why I don't know why.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I don't get it. No Nickelback, and then I would probably say like something like I don't know, a little more chill, like Gypsy Kings or something like that. You know?
Yeah. Well, man, Trevor, I appreciate you so much stopping by the Wydoe Podcast. Any last words, and what can we look forward to you and your brand 2023 Luxury Rally Club?
Yeah, we're constantly doing new events and stuff. Congrats on the pod. This is cool. Can't have a better setting, right?
Cannot have a better setting, a better house, a better host.
I'm happy that I can host you guys. That makes me feel great.
Yes.
So good luck.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. This is Trevor Johnson, Luxury Rally Club. Let's go. Whew.